And the jam is called off quickly. Hit and quit it, 64-31. And NBR will start with the pack advantage with Bronco in the box. Has a full 30 seconds to sit as well.
Just 12 minutes left of this first half. Oh, we got Jorge.
Oh, hey!
So George, previously of the Northern Team Rum City Rollers, or Derby Dolls, sorry. Great footwork.
Yeah, really starting to stretch that pack on the track. So let's not only recycle the jammer, let's recycle the puns.
Marilyn Monroe sent for a forearms for NBR, so that's just giving a little bit of space to Jorge to pick up lead.
And first scoring pass with only 3 blockers to get through.
Hey, the feed just came up. We'll see how long it lasts. This is all the test run Friday night. Oh, big hit. Look at those little tappy hands.
Penalty gets issued. Nope, that was BT. Sorry, that was
Boss there.
Boss
so both pivots in the box.
Yep.
But I thought Jorge had called off the jam, but no one called it. So she just got back up and started playing again.
I think that was the tentative call off. You know, you sort of do the hips are like. It's not even tap. It's like
So when you have to knock on your neighbour's door to tell them that like you've like accidentally cut their hedge or something, and you're knocking, but you don't really want them to answer.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
What do you mean you were home? I didn't realise. Oh. I'm not. Yeah, nah.
Now Booty did get her initial pass.
And that comes to an end. So 6 points for the Coastal Assassins. That puts them up to 37.
Gypsy Wild heading to the penalty box for a late penalty there for NBR.
Okay, so the Assassins now poised to strike pack advantage. Mind you, they've got Blitzkrieg Bomb on the track for NBR, so no shortage of talent.
Dusty Flyer, Blitzkrieg Bomb. Oh, that's Carly Lucas there wearing the pivot stripe just on Dusty Flyer, but Dusty Flyer gets past and has a big hit on Catchy. She's got 1 to go.
And she is through.
Oh, and then you've got Ratatouille. Oh, look at that waterfalling.
That is fantastic.
That was a lot of Tetris blocks coming in there, but just not enough to slow down Blitzkrieg Bomb.
But she had a half-lap advantage, so that's enough to get some points.
I think she got the full 4 points.
She did. So Coastal Assassins just trying to close it down a bit by bit again. NBR being able to counter successfully so far, just holding that lead around the 20-point mark for the last 5-6 minutes or so. Currently it's a 23-point lead to Northern Brisbane.
Look at this huddle with Jorge in the huddle. Oh, it goes for the hit. And that's Metal Minx just letting her through.
Yeah, they saw that one coming. It was a swing and a miss. Around the outside. There she goes.
That's Tinkerhell. So that's lead to the Coastal Assassins.
Excellent stuff. And
they're holding back Black Reaver. This is what they need to do for the scoreboard.
Yeah. Previously, they've had a half lap or so, but now it's a full lap advantage.
And a yield back on that outside line by Crush and Kick.
So that'll be that extra point.
Now Reaver's coming up. Can they slow it down? Jorge up the front with the pivot stripe. As Tinkerhell does get stuck on that triangle. That's Monroe, Gemicide.
And Black Reaver thought she didn't step out. She was in 2 minds. You could see the thought process on her face.
And they called it dead. They've called it. So they're going to get pretty much that full power jam. I think this is the first jammer penalty to NBR.
It's definitely a power start for Cards. So this is perhaps what it's all going to happen. 46 playing 64 at the moment. 18-point lead. Yeah, and like I say, Dusty Flyer is lining up, hands on hips, surveying the blocking.
It is a strong pack, though, there for NBR as well. That's Carly Lucas, Excel, Squeals, and Catchy. So Oh, look
Nice
at that
dodge on the outside.
acceleration.
Yeah, and getting very low on the outside, avoiding the hips.
As a blocker, when you can see how much speed some jammers can get by running the outside line and still having that speed, it just makes it impossible to catch them. That was Carly Lucas.
Front on front, Lucas.
Elle Bent sent to the penalty box there. So how many points on the board for that there?
That's 4.
That's 4? There was no. There must have been a no pass, no penalty, because, yeah, no jammer lap point.
No jammer lap point signalled. And the jammer's out, so we've got Booty.
It's back to the original,
Boss. Yes.
formation, the OG.
So what we thought might happen, Card taking full advantage, didn't really happen. Only 4 points on that last jam. It's a 14-point lead as we get into jam 17.
Offense there by Punky Bruiser trying to assist Booty at the back of the pack. At the front, Boss is doing it on her lonesome.
Nice work here from the NBRD.
Oh, she's got that one to go. It's Gypsy Wild, but look at that reform.
That's great. And suddenly she's in the middle of the pack again. And Booty is through as the lead jammer. Only with a couple of steps ahead, though.
Yeah, the Coastal Assassins it looked like they went to do an offense, and that offense is what got Booty out as well. But it did get their jammer hot on her tail.
Jam ref just consulting here, making sure they get the right number of points. It's 2 to the Phoenix and 2 to Card. So after all that, it's even Steven on the jam point count, 52-66. 5 minutes left to go in the first half.
Now on the Skate Connection jammer line, we have Tinkerhell up against Blitzkrieg Bomb. Is this a new lineup? Is this a new jammer lineup? I think it might be.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
These guys are insane.
Look at this, pushing both jammers.
They've
Oh,
only
my
progressed like
God.
a couple of meters from the jam line.
Oh, Carly Lucas gets the knockout. And Tinkerhell does collect a cut track penalty.
She does. And yeah, didn't go straight to the outsider. She was teasing perhaps in insubordination as well, but realized her error and got straight off the track. So now power
and
jam
in
for
an
the
apex,
Phoenix.
it's a great place to be able to do offense, but no, setting for the D. They just let her do it her own, and she did.
That is top-notch jamming. Blitzkrieg Bomb, 5 points. And NBR, once again, they've done this a couple of times. Got the jammer penalty and just able to...
Really capitalized on it.
Yep, we've had a couple of 20-point jams.
And then the Coastal Assassins just nickel and dime that back. I love that term for small jams, but then just has that one power jam which takes it a little bit out of reach again. There's a star pass to Jorge.
So that initial pass is completed and the whistle's blown.
I know those feelings.
Yep.
Those feelings well. When you when you're the blammer and you never get to score any points.
Just hand back that helmet cover to your benchy and just go back, sit down. Next one. One of these days, I'll get one. So 10-point jam to the Phoenix. They are on 76, leading the Coastal Assassins, who are on 52.
No.
3 minutes left.
Because we changed up that jammer line starts. So now we've got Dusty Flyer up against Black Reaver. So let's see how this works out. Black Reaver doing some... lots of footwork at the back, but...
Who is that blocker? That was fantastic.
But Dusty Flyer...
That was genocide. Fantastic blocking work in the middle there from her. Oh, nice evasion work here.
It's not quite Gemicide. Oh, no, sorry, I do apologize. I didn't see Gemicide on track just then, but I can see her now. She's out in lane 4 there.
Yeah, that was some top-notch blocking in the middle from her.
Oh, love tap out by Black Reaver, who has passed that star. Oh, that's a big hit. That's to Metal Minx.
Yeah, Metal Minx is now the blammer, as you say. But getting held up nicely, that's Boss. Once
Oh,
again, doing the dual work, jamming and blocking, just turning it around.
We have Metal Minx. Oh, look at that. Dusty Flyer comes in and kind of uses Crush and Kick as a like bumper bowling bar there to stay in track. But she has come to that slow standstill now, so she's going to try to assess how she can get these points without having to use too much energy. Gypsy Wild, that was a great shoulder check.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Nice tiptoe on the outside, almost like hop stepping along the outside line. Dusty Flyer is through, picks up a 5-point pass. That's a 15-point jam so far in the favor of the
look
Assassins.
at this, it's 9 points in it now. We've just got the 10 seconds left of this jam. Oh, she calls it off.
It's a 16-point jam now for the Assassins. They've now brought it back inside 8 points. And we are inside the last minute of the first half. Breathe.
It's too exciting.
Breathe.
I'm going to start getting really hot.
We've still got another half to go.
Oh, geez. It'll be all about the endurance in the end and who adjusts their strategy. And penalties will definitely play a part in that.
Yep, and it is a nice warm evening as
Oh,
well.
Jorge is there jamming, but up the front there, that's Booty. Look at that slowdown on Booty. Usually they don't get her to that standstill, but the
That was
inside
catchy.
line.
Catchy doing that excellent blocking there for NBR.
Lovely, but Booty picked up lead as Boss goes to the penalty box.
I was worried that was the jammer for a second. And the last thing that card needed was a jammer penalty. They've done so much good work so far this half, but instead it's a 5-point pass.
They've got to get some team offense happening to get Jorge out of this pack, because that's one scoring pass. Now it comes up to second scoring pass. Jorge still pushing up as her pivot is in the penalty box.
That's it, there's no O coming.
Oh, that's so sad. Don't say those things.
Well,
That's
now
like
she
saying-
is.
that's
She's
like
out of the
saying
box.
Santa Claus isn't real.
What? Santa Claus isn't real?
Well, if O's not coming, it's
Neither
like
is
Christmas
Christmas
isn't,
now.
right?
Jeez, ruined my life. Speaking of...
Jorge taking a hit on the
Jorge
ground there. I
on the
think she
outside.
felt that one.
She did.
She went into baby yoga. Is it the baby for yoga pose? I think it's on your back and you're
What,
rolling
legs in the
around.
air?
Yeah.
I think it's called pain. Intermission. So at the end of the jam, it was a 7-0 run in the favor of the Phoenix. It's 83 plays 68 as the first half comes to an
Dave's
end.
so excited he's throwing his chair around again.
It's the wrestling's in a couple of weeks, mate.
All right, so we'll leave you to it and we'll come back for the second half.
Welcome back. We are 2 minutes left to go for half time. We've got Bonnie Tyler on the PA. We've got
I'm loving
half
it.
the
It's
track
perfect.
singing along.
If
It
you know
is good.
anyone knows me, they know Bonnie Tyler's the way to get me.
Absolutely. So, let's run through some information we got at
Yeah,
halftime.
so when we're looking at some of the stats that we have Dusty Flyer for card. She has 100% lead jammer status. She's on 51 points of that card's total of 68.
Wow.
But she does have 2 penalties as a jammer. Also, we have Boss's been jamming. She's already picked up 4 penalties. Jorge has picked up 1 penalty and Tink has picked up 1. So card's sitting on 15 penalties at the end of that first half. Whilst NBR are playing so clean, they've got 4 penalties in total. Out of everybody.
And only one jammer's picked up a penalty. That's Reva.
That is 1 jammer penalty. So Booty, she's jammed 7. She's gotten lead 6 times with 35 points. Reva's on her 7 jams, 3 lead, 10 points. But Blitzkrieg Bomb is really racking up some points there. She's only done 6 jams and only been lead once, but has picked up 38 points. So she must be getting those power jams. They must be going to her for those point status.
She's also been doing a fair bit of pivot work, so she's probably picked up some of those. No,
Blitzkrieg, the NBR have got their 3 jammer rotation. Card's the one. Boss has been doing the doubling up.
Yeah.
So like a lot of Boss's penalties are blocker penalties, not jammer penalties. But she's on 4. So she's the only person in a little bit of blocker problems now. Just blocker problems, penalty problems.
Yeah, so you remember, guys, you can only get 7 penalties in a game, so 4 in the first half.
Yeah. I think they might block Boss a little bit more in the second half. She's been out to jam 5 times.
Yep.
She hasn't picked up lead and she's only scored 4 points. Now, I'm not sure if those 4 points were a star pass 4 points or actually
Something else,
when she was actually as a jammer to start with.
And it's interesting, straight away, we've got Dusty Flyer lining up for card start second half. So
and
they're
she
going with
gets
their
BT.
strips
So this is the 2, both these jammers have the
consistently. Last thing we need is her
Booty
to
just
get in
kind of
trouble.
taking a bit of contact there.
Yep.
And there we go. Dusty Flyer maintaining 100% lead jammer status as Gypsy Wild for NBR heads to that penalty box.
So this is exactly the start the card we're after. And looks like Booty is off to the penalty bin again. So that is
that's Boss. That's Boss. Boss for card, Booty for NBR. Booty
okay.
is still
I'm just
jamming.
gonna
Look
get
at that. She
excited.
just got her initial pass.
It's taken over a minute.
Oh, Dusty just did that one hand out. I'm not out, guys. I'm in. Oh, she
Now
is out
she's
this
out.
time.
Yeah.
Now, how many points did she clock up in that one? She clocked up 8 points.
Yep. So 76 now, 83. So it's 7 points in the game.
Now, I'm going to try to keep some live sets going at least a second half. We'll see how that works for me.
You'll get too excited, I know.
I know.
Hey, that's what we're here for. We're here to watch Derby and get excited and bring it to you guys at home. Thanks for tuning in. We've got the live stream up and running at the moment. So, yes, live stream Friday night.
So we've got Blitzkrieg Bomb
That's right.
up against Jorge.
Yes, Jorge stuck at the back,
Oh, Blitzkrieg did pick up lead, but got yielded.
but is still out again. So, Blitzkrieg is definitely bombing this jam.
Oh, George just taking a massive hit. I'm not sure if it was Carly Lucas or XL, but really.
XL's doing the recycling here. And nice step through on the inside line. So another 5-point pass. And Phoenix, once again, coming up the goodies. They're kicking up that lead again. George is now finally out. But Blitzkrieg, yep, getting the word and calls it off and picks up another couple of points by the looks.
Yeah, get it 2 points because Elbent is in penalty box. That puts Elbent on 4 penalties now. So as a blocker, she's going to have to calm that down just a little bit on the track.
And without the depth, if a couple of card players get into some serious penalty trouble, it's going to be interesting. 8 points on the jam to Phoenix, 91 plays 7.
Reaver is on that scoring pass.
Couple of blockers up the front. The bridge goes up and she is through. Gets the word.
They're running the
they want
jam.
it. Yep. Well, why not? You know, you've got a lap.
Oh,
And again,
Elbent just picking up a penalty there, just
Yep.
after returning from that penalty box.
sometimes happens like that. You get into a roll of penalty getting, and suddenly it's 3 more. All right, that jam comes to an end, and it is 4 points apiece. 9 points for the Phoenix, so they have cracked the century. It's an even 20-point spread. I love the commentator we're allowed to do on that one. Thank you.
It's just 20 points, though, so...
Not much. As we love to say, that is one power jam.
Not quite a unicorn.
No. Went the legs followed. She gets her points and calls it.
And that's Carly Lucas's first penalty of the game, picking up a directional.
16 points the spread, 25 minutes left to go in the game. And let's get Jorge back on. Nice little fist bump there, bit of derby loving. A little bit of a pose. I like it. It's bomb. NBR is the other jammer.
That was a beautiful smoke bomb formation there from NBR, going from the front to the back to set their triangle.
And Blitzkrieg Bomb also lending a hand here, so...
Oh, El Ben doing some there for Jorge. No, what just happened there?
Jorge bounced off her own blocker. She's up the front.
She's up the front. She's got 1 to go.
And now lead jam. Great work, Jorge. I don't know what she did, but she did it well. It's good to see the crowd starting to come in a bit.
She's on a 50% lead jammer status, so...
That's good stuff. It's just interesting watching some of the crowd coming in the cups or the presentation and down front, just so people come over, getting a couple of snaps. It's all part of the community spirit already. Vibes on. It's Friday night. And it's
Boss
rocking.
there. Boss there up the front. Not enough to slow down Blitzkrieg Bob. She does get out for initial, but George is on a second scoring pass.
Indeed.
Carl Lucas up front there. I can hear the whole team telling her to pull that off there.
You can see the bench coach giving the word not getting through, so everyone lending a hand. All right, so 9-point jam there, so it's a 7-point lead now for the
They're
Phoenix.
just going to make this really hard for me now that I've decided I'm keeping running stats. That's why, right?
Of course.
It's going to be...
They knew.
Yeah.
All right, Tinkerhell.
Black
Reaver. Oh,
He's getting the synchronized. He can see it now. We're both spectacled people, so the distance can work against us.
It's definitely working against me. Oh, here we go. Tinkerhell, one more at the front. She's through and lead.
Beautiful work. So
it's a nice extended defense here. That was El Bent again getting amongst it, spreading that pack out. But
and that's a star pass to Squeals.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to sit here and say they're going to call this, because if Squeals hits that pack, she's going to hit it hot. There we go. They do call that one off. So just taking those 4 points.
But they're keeping the pressure on the Phoenix, because they've kept them scoreless for the last couple of jams. They're still on 100. Carter now on 97. 3-point game.
Look, so we're sitting here in jam 6 of the second half. NBR have scored 17 points, whilst we've got Card are sitting on 29 points. So
a game of 2 halves already.
So if Card can keep up that momentum in scoring, we're going to see that score just tick over the other way. Oh, Dusty
Booty.
Flyer.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Booty trying that inside line, got shut down, so she's still trying to get through the pack. And got called. It's a
that's a cut.
So it is a power jam to Card, and they are poised to take the lead. Here we go. There it is. And they are in the lead.
That is the second penalty for Booty. That's second jammer penalty in total. The third jammer penalty. Black Reaver did pick one up earlier.
So now Card.
Oh,
wow.
Look at that. Just a bit of seesaw backwards. Let's add some artistic in there.
I give that a 3.5 degree difficulty as well.
Untouched.
That was lovely.
She's on. That's 20 points. The lead has ticked over now. How much more can she capitalize on this? Booty, I believe, is still on initial.
She is. So, the word from the bench. No, keep on scoring. Don't call it.
Yeah, she's on that initial. So until she's actually scoring, and sometimes when you've got a jammer that is struggling, you want to make them keep going. You want to see if they can make more mistakes.
And Neil caught on the track end.
Look at that waterfall. That's Boss again.
Yep. And there is the call. So an extra 4
look at
points.
Those points. That's 24. Putting her on 36 for this half.
So now Card with the 21-point lead, just like that. All it took was one jam. So 121 for the Assassins, 100 for the Phoenix.
This change of lineup, putting Dusty up against Booty has just completely changed the game. It's kind of neutralized Booty.
And
it's
that's
absolutely
exactly
neutralized her.
what they needed to
In the
do.
first half, she was on 35 points. Hasn't scored a point in the second half.
There it is.
Absolute change of the game there. So we've got George there up against that Creek Bomb picking up lead.
Yep, they haven't been able to stop the bomb, but it is just that one change. That's great coaching and great benching.
So we'll sit there and see if George here, Carly Lucas picking up a directional, as George still trying to get that initial pass, but Agent gets to take her back. There we go. So this might stay on that one scoring pass. I don't know if they'll try to go for two scoring passes. She calls that one off.
Indeed, she does. But did get points, so it's a 5-point jam for the Phoenix there. And we're in 19 minutes and change left to go in the game. Assassins in front with the wind in their sails, really.
If I was NBR right now, I'd probably be getting close to calling a timeout. They need to stop this momentum.
And they possibly need to change that jammer rotation as well. They may try that sneaky, two jammer lineups.
It depends. Is someone doing jammer stats down there? Who knows?
It might be a good opportunity to do that, 2 or 3 jammer lineup just to try and outfox the opposition.
Oh, there we go. Tinker Hell picking up lead up against Black Reaver, who's being yielded back by Bronco.
Jammer helmet covers in hand.
Yeah. So we'll see. Gemicide is the pivot for NBR, but they're just chasing down Tink.
They haven't done the pass yet.
Gemicide look over. Gemicide's ready for it. That inside line might open up. Crush and kick is there. George is resetting. They're kind of doing that one hit, one, just enough to slow her down.
And really good movement forward from the Card.
That's now one of their jammers there. So it'll depend on how long this jam is. Will they? Oh, that's two blockers in the bin there.
Yes.
For Card.
Yes.
So will they sit there and get back to the point that George goes back into her jammer rotation at that normal point, or will this accidentally end up changing it?
Well, they got Dusty Flyer on and a timeout called by
That was
Card.
by Card.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's about that point, similar point in the first half. They called a timeout.
It is pretty much playing in quarters. Playing in quarters there.
So I'm interested to see how they might try to change things up here. Will NBR try something a bit foxy? If I was them, I would, because it's entertaining.
Well, Dusty's now on 87 points. She's still on 100% lead. They're going to have to work out how to shut that down. Out of that 129 points, 87 of them are Dusty Flyer.
Yep.
And that's that 100% lead jammer status. If they
Yep.
can take that away from her, then they're probably going to tip the game back the other way.
And they are poised to do it. It's not that far. It's only 25 points, or 24 points the difference. As we have seen already, that's easy to do in a jam, but you just got to get the right combo on the track. You've got to get the right defense in there, but they have not so far come up with an answer for Dusty Flyer. Whistle blows. It's the end of the timeout. Dusty Flyer is still on, and they're sticking Booty on.
Okay, so it's the same one. So neither, I don't think Card were going to change it. Jorge's in the bin currently.
Yep.
And their other jammer just jammed. But I thought maybe NBR would change it.
I was hoping they would try and do something interesting here, but they're just going to stick with Booty.
Have they changed their blocking pack, or is it the same blocking pack? So Booty there is up the front pushing for it. She's just got those two blockers. So she might be the... Oh my God.
Here. Yeah.
Oh, that is a cut there to Booty. So keeps Dusty Flyer on 100% lead jammer status. I thought that's where it was going to break.
And they were almost there as well, because the blocking for NBR was really there. But yeah, Dusty Flyer now with an apex jump. Easy 5 points. The dam is busted. And suddenly it's flowing through, and it all Dusty Flyer right now. Again, one push and a shove, she's through. Another 5-point pass.
Booty's standing here. So she will be on initial, so they'll probably run this one for the points. They're probably making Dusty stay on track as much as possible.
Yep, they're just giving her the go. Dusty was ready to call it off. No, you don't call that off.
I think she went for the apex jump and didn't quite
Well, she wasn't sure.
She was on the knees.
Yeah, and you could see her looking over, looking at the ref for any sort of giveaway, looking at her bench.
They're stoic.
It's a fantastic performance of Dusty Fly. MVP performance so far. I'm going to call it.
That was another 23 points there.
Massive. 150.
Off.
Bam.
Bam. Just like that. Oh, but this Blitzkrieg bomb, she's been having an absolute pearler second half here.
Yep, up against Jorge. So Jorge was blocker last jam.
Yes, and she was in the penalty box at the start of it, so they
Yep.
did keep their St. John. But Jorge picks up lead.
It is all card coming up Millhouse here in the second half.
Oh, look at Boss there. Oh, and
Bam.
another hit there. But it's Rogue Aiden not keeping her feet there.
And you can see poor old Blitzkrieg Bomb trying to get the helmet cover back on, but oh, gee, she felt those couple of blocks at the end of that score, that initial pass.
Yeah, Jorge just picked up the 2 points in that one and then got that knockout, which was going to yield her. So just calling it off. So Blitzkrieg Bomb didn't need to worry about that helmet cover as much.
But importantly for George and the Assassins, that jam went over a minute. So they are using the clock well as well. They're going to try and put the pressure on NBR, not only by having fantastic jamming, but also chewing up the clock.
Oh, Tinker Hell and Black Reaver on the line.
Oh,
That was a
Tinker Hell
massive
getting-
hit, but I think...
That was a high block. I think that was a bit of an arm to the head.
Okay. The height difference there coming into play. Just
And
for
there's Tinker Hell on the
just people
side.
wondering,
Yeah.
we know the streaming's really bad tonight. We're having cutout issues here. We are filming it separately as well. We've been filming it from the start of the game, so that will get uploaded later.
In the bed, breakfast in bed in Derby on a Saturday of a long weekend. What could possibly be wrong with that situation, aside from being here, which you're not, clearly.
Well,
End
you
of the jam.
you might be here. Maybe
You're
you just
streaming it live. And
you're just
being
out in the
here.
car park.
Surround
Maybe
sound,
you wanted our commentary and not Honest Dave's.
which is, fair. Okay, end of that jam. The 3 points in favour of the card there. 157 Phoenix on 105. It is an officials timeout, so the referee's having a bit of a yabber in the middle of the track.
There's a huddle in that one there, so I wonder if it'll be a chat about some contact at the end there. I did notice that Tinkerhell was down on the ground, and
There's a bit of
and
boogieing going on in that huddle.
and Carly Lucas did come over and check if she was okay. So I'm not sure if there was some impact that occurred.
I think there's a bit of a sing-along going in the middle of the car pack there. There was
It's probably still Bonnie Tyler.
I don't know, it was a bit of a boogie going on.
You can boogie to Bonnie Tyler. If you don't know how to boogie to Bonnie Tyler, you just don't know how to get down to 80s ballads.
In that case, I definitely don't know how to get down to 80s ballads.
I'm from Adelaide. I know how to get down to 80s ballads.
So am I.
So
I
now,
definitely
now
missed
does
out
the
on something.
now does the
Okay.
sequin jacket work out?
Scare Bear is sporting a wonderful sequin jacket for the tournament, by the way. I know you can't see it, but it is an object of beauty.
You might see it over the weekend. I'll walk around wearing it.
Handmade. Nothing beats it. All right, so the referee's coming over. Jessica Rabbit having a chat with Tilt McKilt. So
Yeah, so an insubordination has been issued to Excel. I'm not sure exactly what for, but
she's doing the
she's
universal
now got
gesture.
the 1 minute.
Yep, the universal gesture of I can't believe that just happened to me. But rules is rules, and the referee's definitely had
That's
a,
all
a
right.
good
She'll
long
she'll
chat
shake
about
it off.
No, of course she will. She's a pro. But
She's also a referee, so
you can't like it, but you have to just suck it up and deal with it. So referee's still having a chat, but that is the end of the officials' timeout. All the NSOs getting set back in their usual spot, having a good chance to just compare and make sure all the paperwork is correct.
a nice big break there, and we're going to have this jammer lineup again. So that's Dusty Flyer up against Booty.
Blockers close in on the jam line, wanting to surround Booty, and they do.
Oh,
Dusty Flyer
Dusty
almost
Flyer,
up
that
the
was
outside.
so close. The toe stop just didn't keep the grip at the end. Booty's trying to get past crush and kick. Boss and Ratatouille, that is a triangle. That there is a great triangle.
Smart pickup of the no pass, no penalty.
Oh, yield back there by Marilyn Monroe. Pushing Dusty Flyer back. So they've now put up their 1-0. So
Here we
Rogue,
go,
oh,
Booty.
No.
Oh, wow, that was so close.
Oh, so close. Dusty Flyer maintaining that lead jammer status.
I
woo!
reckon Booty actually accidentally gave her
the push through. It was like, here, take some assistance.
Well, no points for either of them. So
that's right. Still maintain 100% lead jammer status.
That's your favourite stat of the game so far,
it is.
I think.
Well, it's something to beat. All right, she's going to go into the next game with 100% lead jammer status if this continues.
Could be player of the tournament. You want to go that far? We're at game one.
I'll meet her at some point in this tournament.
Oh, well, there. We'll be
and
looking forward to that.
And then we'll play together next week for the for Queensland, for the champs. Oh, that's Jorge up against Blitzkrieg Bob.
Yep, just leaning that chest in and gets on through. So Jorge picks up lead for Card. I'd like to be interested to see just generally the lead jammer stats. I reckon Card have really switched things over.
Yes.
Not many leads.
So in this second half, you've got 10 out of 14 lead jammer statuses going to Card.
There you go.
So it is big. Oh, George there. We have this little thing that we like to call, and there's different jammer things that they aim for during a game. So they'll challenge each other, and they'll be like, who's got the most points for a jam? And there's another one of the most dramatic call-off. and it'll be like, who's got the most dramatic call-off? And I think Jorge just had one of those. That was a nice, she was spinning like a top on the floor as she was calling that off.
Yep, the hip taps were frantic. Only 2 points. So 159 playing 105. We've got Tinkerhell up against, it's Black Reaver. The Black Reaver's up the front. Has she got it? She has.
She does. That's her second lead jammer status of this half.
Good stuff. 10 minutes and change left to go. So not much time here for the Phoenix to get back into it. They've got 54 points to make up.
This triangle with Tinkerhell, she's not getting much movement out of them, trying to push up the center.
She has not gone past the pivot line yet. Helmet cover is off.
All right, and look at that. I love that. Wow. They do that. That is a signature Coastal Assassins move. Boss comes out of nowhere, takes a sneaky star pass. Did you see Tinkerhell holding it behind her back?
And it got precisely 0 points for it. But it was a beautiful move.
It was beautiful. It is a move that they have, and you have to be super aware constantly. If they are not lead, where is their pivot? Because their pivot is coming, and they're going to get that off very quickly.
Yeah, she came out the bench and off she went. So 7 points to NBR in that one. They're on 112. Assassin's still on 159. Dusty Flyers back on against Booty again. Bam. No time at all. Dusty Flyer. Booty is also through.
Booty is out.
But it's a half lap that Dusty Flyer has. Oh, that was magnificent.
And then she calls it.
Through the pack backwards. Lost virtually no momentum at all. It's a masterclass from Dusty Flyer here.
Dusty,
this is fantastic.
She's going, here's your first game, guys. Live up to the standard.
Yep.
For every Div 1 skater who is not watching this tonight, they're going to regret that when they have to come up against her. I'm here.
Yep.
All right, BCR is watching.
Yep.
She's managing to also, besides having that 100% lead jammer status, she's actually managed to get Booty on 0 points this half. And that's amazing. For who was one of their top scorers, 35 points in that first half. They've really shut her down.
Yep. Jorge back on up against Blitzkrieg Bomb.
That's Marilyn Monroe there picking up a penalty.
And Jorge looked like she was...
She wasn't sure if she was...
hangdog expression.
I think she heard the whistle.
Yeah.
And she wasn't sure if it was going to be a penalty to her.
But she did get through. She is now lead.
Oh, she just follows Boss. I went to call her agent there, but she's now going by her given name.
Which is Boss?
Her surname is Boss.
Okay.
It's the best.
Some people just have great names for Derby already. So Assassins, 4 points, call it off. They're on 167. Phoenix still on 112. 7.5 minutes left to go in the game. Still, NBR poised to strike.
It's still not that far out. You just
No.
need a few things to go in your favor
That's
for
it.
this to happen.
And Card doing enough consistently in the second half, able to swing that pendulum and hold on to the momentum so far.
Oh, look at Black Reaver up the front there. She's got the strength and the power. Oh, but on the inside line.
Tinkerhell is your lead jammer.
Black Reaver chasing her behind, fixing some equipment there. Electrical tape. We should all be sponsored by electrical tape companies.
If you run an electrical tape company, please get in touch with every single roller derby league in town.
Yeah.
You will
I'm on
not
it.
regret it.
I don't know how much money I spend on electrical tape weekly.
Okay, we're back to Dusty Flyer and Booty again. 2 points to the Assassins on the last jam, so 169 playing 112. Oh, nice movement.
That was-
47
That's
for
Road
Card.
Maiden.
Wow.
She's
That
now
was
managed to shoot up the
fantastic.
top there.
Yep.
Dusty's still trying to find that space. Booty at the back there.
And Ratatouille also getting amongst it there. That's some awesome blocking here
Ratatouille's
from Card.
hits rattle your teeth. Even with the mouth guard in, they're going to rattle. And that's Gypsy Wild taking back Dusty Fly. But look at this run-up she's now going to try to get. Look at that.
Well
look at
done,
this. It is done.
Booty.
Her 100% lead jammer status is now over. Booty picking up her first lead jammer status of the second half.
Well done, Booty. She got a sniff
Oh, and she's getting points on
and
the
off
board.
she went. Well done.
Persistence.
It pays.
Now we're coming down to that standstill once again.
Yep, turn 2 is where the action is. And it's just intense. Not much movement going on. It is all about that shoulder strength. It's all about that power. Can they get it to the floor? And Booty is through again.
Star pass to Agent. Now, will they run her? Knowing
Will they
that,
run it?
Have
Yeah.
they realised that Agent's been struggling for points? No, she goes for the call. Look at that. That was Dusty Flyer doing that block there.
yeah.
When jammers get to block, they love it.
And a quick timeout to NBR. So NBR may be sensing they've got something to give here. It was 1 point each
I
on
thought that
that
Booty
last
was on
jam.
the was on her second scoring pass there.
jam ref coming over, having a chat.
I'm a little. There we
There
go.
he is. So 118 for the Phoenix, 170 for Card. NBR maybe just sensing that they can seize an opportunity here. It is 52 points, and we are just under 5 minutes left to go in the game. Whew. This timeout is brought to you by water. Water is great.
Water in game one. I would like to also be sponsored by a chapstick.
We do actually have sponsors, by the way. Skate Connection are our major sponsor for the 2018 Tropicarnage Cup.
We're
grateful.
trying to remember that it is the Skate Connection Jammer line. That is what we need to remember.
It is the Skate Connection Jammer line.
Who's on that Skate Connection Jammer line right now?
It is George, Jorge, and Blitzkrieg Bomb. They are on the Skate Connection Jammer line.
It was like Mexican and German in there when you were pronouncing those names.
That'd be about
Yeah.
right. I don't know which one's going on. That's the jet lag coming in.
Oh, Jorge up the front there. Oh, Squeals there.
No pass, no. Oh, no, it wasn't a no pass. So she has picked up
Oh.
lead.
As Blitzkrieg Bomb goes for a cut track penalty.
Oh, here we go. This is not what the NBR needed. At least we can say Dusty Fly is not on the track. So,
Yeah.
But Jorge, definitely capable and going
Look,
through and getting a
there
lot
we
of points
go.
of her
and
own.
a bit of an acceleration there. She
Beautiful.
saw Squeals coming from that inside line. Now
And
she calls
smart.
it.
No,
Now,
smart move.
They are going to put out Tinkerhell. So Tinkerhell is going to go out here for the start of this power jam.
NBR have called another timeout.
Well, they had saved them all up, so they've got to make some decisions. Like, what are they going to do right now? What can change this? There's only 4 minutes left.
How many minor games do every team get in the Tropicarnage
In
Cup?
Div 1, we all get to play each other once, and then the top-tiered teams get a grand final.
There's only 4.
There's 5 of us in total.
There's 5 teams?
There's 5 teams.
Okay.
So in Div 1, we have Sydney Assassins, that's their Div 1 team. We have the VRDL Notorious VICs. We have Brisbane City Rollers Punk Blockers. We have the Coastal Assassins, and we have Northern Brisbane Phoenix.
And every single team full of champs.
Yeah, so we get to play.
Good.
We get to all play each other, so we'll get to see those different results there. Like, and we're all pretty close to each other. Like, these guys played against each other recently. I can't remember the score. Brisbane City Rollers played NBR in the quarterfinals at TGSS, being ranked 4th and 5th in Div 2.
Yep.
Brisbane City Rollers played the Notorious VICs in the grand final of TGSS Div 2. So we've got those ones there. Sydney were in Div 1. So they're a little bit, no one really knows a huge amount of those guys.
Is the thing. It comes down to which players do you field. It comes down to what happens on the day. How have people improved since TGSS?
Dusty Flyer picks up a back block as Blitzkrieg Bomb is released from the penalty box. So they did change up that jammer rotation, but it flipped on them.
Very interesting here. Now, every Div 1 game and every game of Tropicarnage Cup will be streamed and will be videoed and uploaded. So every single game at the Tropicarnage Cup will be there for you to enjoy. As a 5-point pass to Blitzkrieg Bomb, the comeback is on. Dusty Flyer back on the track with the helmet cover in hand. Getting a lot of love on the inside from the NBR blocking team, and they have pushed her out, and
that's
she's
Gypsy
got
Wild.
to go back.
But now she's got the run up once again. Look at when you give her that run up, the hit that she packs in it, you got to be ready to take it.
And so far they've been wise to the task. Bam, bam, but she just kept her toe stops in. Dusty Flyer is through.
The calling call is made. Calling call, yeah, calling call.
The calling call, it was called.
It was
and
called?
they called it.
They called it.
10 points to the Phoenix. They're on 128. 2.5 minutes left to go. They are 40-something, 48 points, 47 points behind the Card Assassins. Both teams with 1 timeout and 1 official review left to go. It is coming down to the wire. And we have a timeout. It's an officials timeout.
Oh. Is it just?
Yeah, Mass was having a word with the penalty box by the looks of it. So back on track and ready to go for the start of Jam 22.
With 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining.
Tinkerhell with that customary low start. Launching into the back of that pack, but it is Black Reaver who's recycled. Tinkerhell is through and is now completely clear of the pack. So Card, have they done enough to hold on? Can they run the clock a bit? Can they see this out?
The jammer helmet cover has come off. Excel trying to do some big O there. Black Reaver takes the outside line when Excel's on the in. It's a dangerous move, and it didn't work for her.
Well done to Jorge as well with a
look
nice
at this,
block.
Another timeout to NBR.
Another timeout.
Yep. They've still got an official review up their sleeve as well.
Well, the clock was being milked, so they're just trying to stop the clock at every opportunity here.
I agree. Loxness is the best jam timer. I emoji heart eyes at her a lot.
Dusty Flyer is on track at the moment. And why not, we say? Why not? If you've got possibly the last jam of the bout, It's absolutely critical.
Well, she's going to be a little bit annoyed. The last 2 times she went out, she didn't get lead.
My heart bleeds for the. I know stats and whatever, but she is certainly. Look, if you want to talk about that role, that key player, that person who came up with the right play at the right time, Dusty Fly's done it twice.
Definitely,
It's that 50 points that saw Card catch up and get that lead, and they're now holding on to it.
It was the matchup. You wouldn't think that would be the best way to go, to match up the star performer against the star performer, but
It's
it
happening
neutralized
again.
the threat.
It did. And you got to put it down to the defense as well. Cardiff.
Oh, look at this.
deep,
Bootie's got some movement. Oh,
just
beautiful.
crouching on the outside.
But then that's Boss there taking Booty back.
Now that card D has been absolutely fearsome. Booty is just stuck at the
Dusty
back. She hasn't
Flyer
got
there.
past the pivot line yet.
Now, I wonder if Dusty Flyer will just run this clock out now.
It'd be
I
the
do
smart
think
thing to
I
do.
think I saw Cami Kill Blonde there just doing that signal, like just keep going, just
Yep.
keep going.
Yep. The points don't matter so much. The W can be on the board, but we've just got to run that clock down.
So that's a star pass there to
Yes.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. Now, this has been really excellent. So that is the end of the jam.
Oh, but left it with 37 seconds on the clock. That means there's naturally another jam.
Yes.
All
They're
right.
not calling the timeout. They're just going to
Well, they're going to get one anyway. It was over 30 seconds. That means you're
Yep.
going to get that jam.
Yep. No, it's an interesting end to the game.
If she'd just gone that extra couple of seconds, they would have had to do the official review to try to get that timeout to get the one more jam.
It's all right. You're a little rush of blood to the head, but it could well be enough.
Oh, George was quick off that whistle. She must have been watching Loch Ness with that whistle in her mouth to just work out straight away.
So the period clock has run out, so we are just
Oh,
leaving it over to the jammer.
George against Squeals. Squeals gets her, but she resets back on track fast enough. That's XL, Catchy, and Squeals. George is pushing. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is a long pack.
That is very long.
And
Well
Ratatouille
done.
gets the knockout at the back. Look how long that pack was stretched.
And it's interesting. They're saying no, go get some points. They want to get that point spread up now. They wanted to get
They're
a
going
percentage.
for it,
They
yeah.
want to get a percentage win as well as getting the W. Get some more points on the board. So star pass has
Squeals
happened.
there.
Squeals has got the
As I said
helmet cover.
before, if you let Squeals hit the pack, it's gonna cause some waves.
George is through.
She calls it.
Smart again, George.
And
5
there we
point pass.
go.
Alrighty, so the unofficial score is Coastal Assassins Roller Derby on 192. The Northern Brisbane Rollers Phoenix on 128. We have seen a magnificent comeback here from Card after being about 40 odd points down in the first half. Swung it back thanks to a magnificent couple of jams from Dusty Flyer.
Absolutely amazing. I'm going to try to get those stats in because I just got distracted. It was really good at that. But we'll try to keep some of those stats going throughout the weekend so we can see if people are maintaining this type of success.
Absolutely, and the early claim for player of the tournament from Dusty Flyer, really. It was a star performance. So referees just making sure everything's all good. The final score has been called. It is the end of the first game. The W on the board for Card Assassins. Well played.
Excellent. The next game coming up will be Sun State Killer Bees versus the East Coast Derby Dolls.
You little ripper.
So that won't be that. Oh, all right. We got Vanilla Ice in here, so I got to go. So this is going to be Scare Bear out.
And his pants saying thank you. We will be back in a few minutes for the second game. Yeah. let's get it on for the start of game number 2. East Coast Derby Dolls going to be taking on the Sun State Killer Bees. It's game 2, Tropicarnage Cup 2018. We are going to get it on. Now beginning with the Killer Bees, they've got Dunk on track. East Coast Derby Dolls have got Shell Razor. And straight away, Killer Bees. But, it's going to be awesome. This is going to be a lot of fun here. Jammers just eyeing each other off. That is the end of it. So, Unleasher by the looks, that was the first jammer there. Let's get it on for the start of the next jam. We've got Dr. Death up against 3-9 Valkyrie. So if you're just joining us, g'day, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Scarebear's run off somewhere, but she had a lot of fun with the stats for the first game. We will try and get some stats going in the second game as well, especially at halftime. So Killer Bees, second jam, second lead jam. And Valkyrie gets the lead jam. Hits the back of the pack. And has a nice wall of East Coast girls at the front here. She is now through, so first points of the game. And it's a 5-point pass for the Killer Bees. Valkyrie on the outside this time around. Much easier through the pass. Nice patches through. And picks up another 5-point pass. Turn 3 is where the action is right now. A couple of players hit the deck. Star passes come through. So, Director of Mayhem. Stiffmeister, I should say. Stiffmeister. So, end of the jam. 14 points for the Killer Bees. So, we're going to get Dead Meat on track for the Killer Bees. And it's number 5-5, Swader. Okay, here we go, whistle blows. Swader trying to get through the outside, but no can do. Tries the inside line this time, but it is a literal swarm. The Killer Bees. So Dead Meat is now through the pack, comes through, and beautiful inside-outside maneuver, picks up a 5-point pass. So Killer Bees getting into the swing of things very early on, and they're on 19 points already. And another one, again, barely touching the sides, no change to forward momentum. An illegal procedure called against one of the East Coast Derby Dolls. Heading to the pack is 815, Shannibal Lecter. Now both jammers are free. So Swader through. Cole getting called from the side. And call she does. So a nice 18-point jam, 32 for the Killer Bees. So Shell Razor coming on for East Coast Derby Dolls, and Icy Kill for the Killer Bees. Slight pack advantage here to the Killer Bees as well. East Coast with one in the box. Trying that inside line is Icy Kill. Cannot get through. Tries outside. Thins the pack out and is through. But is joined by Shell Razor up the front. Shell Razor says, "There you going." Slips through on the inside line. So, yep, just call it off. Double donuts. Killer Bees hold on to a nice 32-point lead. 32 plays 0 at the end of jam number 4. Thanks for joining us on the YouTube. Do appreciate your company this evening, wherever you are, around Australia, around the world. Thanks for tuning in. We'll try and keep the live stream up and running. As Video Bob says, hopefully the neighbours have been kicked off Fortnite, and we can keep streaming you live and clear. So it's Unleasher and Dr. Death. Unleasher is your lead jammer, Killer Bees. No lead jams here for the East Coast Derby Dolls, so the Killer Bee defense is definitely coming up with the goodies so far. This could be the story of the game, but as we saw in our first game, that could all change. 5-point pass for Unleasher. She approaches the back of the back. 3 East Coast Derby Dolls out the front, able to shake them off quite convincingly. So another 5-point pass. East Coast go back to lend some offense, as Dr. Death is with the helmet cover in hand, unable to hand it off. Another 5 points to the Killer Bees. And we are all go, go, go. Step through on the outside this time. Unleasher shakes the pack. Another 5-point pass. Star pass has happened. Depraved is picked up the helmet cover. And with only 40 seconds left to go in the jam, that's going to be the end of it. And still, the Killer Bees keep the East Coast Derby Dolls scoreless. So a 23-point jam basically doubles the lead. Killer Bees now 55. East Coast put Swader back on track. And Valkyrie for the Sun State Killer Bees. So a timeout called. It's an official's timeout, as the head ref has been having a chat with the score bench. And it is a penalty being called. There was a gesture there from the head referee. So it was, looks like some sort of positional violation. And that's against Depraved. So there was some sort of violation at the end of the last jam. So that means it's a power start for the Killer Bees. So Swader comes off. Depraved is going to be the jammer for East Coast Derby Dolls, but she had picked up the star pass. So not the normal jammer rotation here. So Killer Bees all set for a massive jam here. Well, let's see if they can do it. Can the East Coast Derby Dolls defense step up here? Still an official's timeout, as the head ref just makes sure everything's okay. Dave is playing right at the Valkyries. And we are all set to go. And it is, wait a second, everything's changed. Depraved has come out of the penalty box. And instead, it's number 3 for the Killer Bees going in. It's Unleasher. So everything's suddenly changed. It is the East Coast Derby Dolls with the power start. So Shellraiser will start for the East Coast Derby Dolls. Now the boot is on the other foot. The Killer Bees defense has done very well so far. How they're going to handle this power start. Referees are now in position. Jam timer blows the end of the official timeout. For those watching at home, the ref crew is the same ref crew for this game as the first game. Having a chat with Slane during the break, a lot of the ref crews are going to be pulling double duty over the weekend, doing 2 games in a row before they get a break. So that's going to be interesting to see how they cope as well. Referees, of course, work just as hard as the skaters. They skate every single jam. of a game, so they can get tired too, especially the outside pack refs. They've got to skate fast and skate hard. So Shellraiser is now the lead jammer. Swader is now out of the penalty box. She's got the helmet cover in her hand. And it is 5 points for the East Coast Derby Dolls. 55 plays 5. Swader comes out straight through. And it is good points for Shellraiser. She is off to the races. Another 5-point pass. And she's going to just try and get more points. Gave up one scoring pass, so 4 points for the Killer Bees. And another point for the East Coast Derby Dolls. So they're on 11, chasing down the Killer Bees, who are on 59. We're just under 22 minutes left to go in the first half. I've got Swader back on for the East Coast Derby Dolls, up against Dead Meat. Teasing the old school start. Both packs close in. Pack advantage now with the East Coast Derby Dolls. They have shut down Dead Meat on the outside. Now in the middle of the track, Dead Meat in the front half of the pack. A little bit of water falling forward from the Killer Bees here, just keeping Swader at the back. Dead Meat is now through, picks up lead jammer for Sun State. Teases that apex jump, instead goes cruising around the outside, meets a wall of East Coast, but gets through and picks up a 5-point pass. Penalty is called, and it's a cut track. That is against Swader, so it's now a power jam for the Killer Bees. Just when we thought East Coast were getting a sniff, they've managed to shut it down. And it's a 5-point pass. 10 points so far for the Killer Bees. Now it's 15. It's a great movement forward from the Killer Bee defense. They've split the pack. And again, excellent work. 51 for the Killer Bees, making sure that it was all shut down. That was Chucky. So 20-point jam for the Killer Bees. They kicked it out 79. East Coast Derby Dolls on 11. 20 minutes left to go in the first half of this game 2 of the Tropicarnage Cup. Killer Bees and East Coast Derby Dolls playing in Division 2. So we've had one Division 1 game, got a Division 2 game. Don't forget the action kicks off early tomorrow morning, so get up early, get a cuppa, and tune in on the YouTubes for Tropicarnage Cup 2018. Valkyrie is the lead jammer for the Killer Bees. Swader back on track and gets the points and calls. So gone for the hit it and quit it, picks up a solitary point, makes it an even 80 for the Killer Bees. Dr. Death back on. And Icy Kill back on for the Killer Bees. East Coast with a slight pack disadvantage. One of their blockers in the penalty bin at the moment. So Killer Bees able to rock almost a 4-wall there, but now they've settled into that familiar triangle D. Bit of the old school defense. But Icy Kill has picked up lead jammer. And it is at a quick points and call. Alrighty, switch it over, get another jam in, let's get it on. Swader back on track. As is Unleasher. So even more of a pack advantage now for the Killer Bees. 2 in the penalty bin for East Coast Derby Dolls. They've racked up a few penalties early on. A lot of side-to-side movement here from the jammers, just trying to knock the defense off kilter. East Coast doing a great job here. Excellent job here from the two blockers. They are Stiffmeister, and there might have been Axel Rolls. Doing a great job here for East Coast. No, forgive me, it was Machinator doing the damage. Excellent job here. Alicia trying that inside leap through on turn 2, not able to get through, forced to try again. Meanwhile, up the front, Swader is through for her initial. A lot of calling here from the bench here. And the jam is called. 2 sneaky points for the East Coast Derby Dolls. They're on 13, but it's a 9-point jam for the Killer Bees. 93-13, even 80-point spread. So we kick it on to 16:40 left in the first half. Shellraiser on for East Coast Derby Dolls up against Dead Meat. So once again, East Coast just sticking to a 3-jammer rotation, 4-jammer rotation for the Killer Bees. They've got certainly a lot more players. And this time it's Shellraiser. She is through for lead jammer. Has got about a quarter of a track. But Dead Meat, 4 to the floor. She has picked up the speed. Beautiful position. So we have some sneaky points as well. 4 sneaky points for the Killer Bees. 3 points for the East Coast Derby Dolls. 97 plays 16, 15 minutes 40 left to go in the first half. And here we go, Valkyrie back on for the Killer Bees. 5 seconds is the call. Dr. Death on for East Coast Derby Dolls. Pack advantage still with Killer Bees, 2 on the track, and Valkyrie able to make short work of the defense. Divides the blockers and gets on through. And we have a penalty as well, so East Coast still with 2 in the penalty box. 5-point pass for Killer Bees. Dr. Death just leaning on the defense, trying to find a chink in that armor to get through, but it has just not happened. The Killer Bees able to reform every time that the O comes through. Great flexible defense here. And with that pack advantage, they're unable to stop Valkyrie. She's on 15 points so far. Penalty box is now clear. And this time it's one of the Sunstake heading off. It's Tia. So now the pack advantage swings the other way. With Dr. Death on the track. Valkyrie as well on her knees, quickly gets back up. The pack is now spread out. Out of play is called, they've got to let it go. And a forearms penalty called against one of the East Coast. So once again, those penalties coming to play, just thinning off the pack. And giving Valkyrie again another sniff at another scoring pass. She's on 20 so far for this jam. Gets through again. And it is another 5-point pass. So a 25-point jam for Valkyrie and the Killer Bees so far. And it's no points so far for Dr. Death, still trying to get through as the jam comes to its conclusion. So it's a 29-point jam. So the Killer Bees have crashed through the century. They're on 126, 90-point lead. East Coast Derby Dolls on 16. Killer Bees doing a great job here of forcing the errors from the East Coast Derby Doll defense. A lot of penalties have been racked up here in the first half. As we have 13 minutes left to go, start of jam 13, Icy Kill on for the Killer Bees up against Shellraiser. Shellraiser still in the pack. Icy Kill is your lead. She comes around, heads up the straight, and is about to head off for her first scoring pass. Meets the back of the pack, a little dance, shake and bake at the back. She's got through all 4 points and is now clear of the pack for a 5-point pass. Shellraiser is now clear. And the Killer Bees again splitting the pack. Pack comes to the end, it's just 1 extra point. So 6-point jam, Killer Bees on 132. East Coast Derby Dolls on 116. Said it was a 90-point gap before. I did tell a lie, it was 110. It's now even more. Unleasher back on for the Killer Bees. Swader on for East Coast. Whistle blows, and it is the start of Jam 14. Nice little pirouette on the inside through Unleasher. And Swader is also through. Unleasher with half a track. Turns around, takes a look. She's slowing things down a bit. She's actually slowing down to meet Swader. So we've got jammer on jammer action on. I think she's just looking to stop calls. And a high five from the bench. So that was a 0-0 jam. An interesting tactic there for the Killer Bees. Looking, I'm not sure what for. Was it to frustrate the jammer? Was it to chew up the clock? It was an interesting maneuver there. Just to not go for the points, instead go for stalling, delaying tactics. Dead Meat's on up against Shellraiser, and Dead Meat straight through on the outside is lead jammer. Shellraiser still in the middle of the pack. Had one more block to get through, but got forced to the inside line, is going back to try again. Meanwhile, Dead Meat's up the front, through for her first scoring pass and picks up 5 points. One Sun State blocker on their knees. That was number 2. That was Just a Mayhem. Quickly picks herself up. She's now the apex in that triangle. And Dead Meat inside, outside, skates on through, unable to be stopped. She's now on 15 points for this jam. And again, beautiful apex jump, just lifted it on over, made it look easy. 20-point jam so far for Dead Meat and the Killer Bees. Blocker for the East Coast, forced to the outside. That's Dr. Death. No, it was Depraved. My mistake, Depraved. And again, going for that big apex jump, unable to stick the landing that time. So 0 points, but called it off. So a 25-point jam for the Killer Bees. We're under 10 minutes left to go in the first half, but a very solid lead building up for the Bees. Sticking with the basic jammer rotation. So Valkyrie back on for the Killer Bees up against Swader for East Coast. We are 5-on-5, which is very pleasing to see given the penalty state so far. And nice work from Valkyrie, staying upright. A lot of ping pong going on in the middle. Bit of pinball derby. But Valkyrie able to ride the bumps and get on through. Swader is now clear of the pack as Valkyrie is on her first scoring pass. Gets told to call it, and she does. And only the one single solitary point. Isakill back on. And I reckon there's a timeout coming up. And it's an official's timeout. East Coast Derby Dolls not on track, or they were possibly looking for a timeout of their own. getting some handy tips from their coach. I reckon that's Bubbles. Wearing a beautiful headpiece with the gold Mickey Mouse ears by the looks. Maybe it's Mambo. Probably Mambo, but anyway. East Coast Derby Dolls, a lot of uphill work to do. They're on 16, 158 for the Killer Bees. Do a quick shout out to a couple of our sponsors. I want to say a big thank you to Lawless Lips and Beauty. So blue, black, red, purple, whatever your team color, get your game face on with 100% vegan and cruelty-free, long-lasting natural makeup by Lawless Lips and Beauty. We caught you at Mackay at the Great Barrier Reef for the last 2 years. Now we're here in Brisbane, ready to get your smudge-proof, smash-proof, kiss-proof lippy on. They've got a nice stall here, so you can test out your colours for free before your game and see how it holds up for yourself. And you can take it home with you. So Lawless Lips and Beauty, get it on. They are on Facebook, facebook.com/lawlesslips. We are now back with action. Icy Kill and Dr. Death on the track. And it is Icy Kill through for the Killer Bees. Gets the call from the bench. Go get some points. And she is just hit out on the inside line. That was Luscious Lucy doing the damage for East Coast. But Icy Killer has made it through for her first 5-point pass. She's off to get another one. It's good to see them hungry for more points. Pivot for the East Coast Derby Dolls coming off slowly. And looks like she may have copped one to the face, but she looks okay. Just going to sit down for a penalty and then come back on track. Icy Killer through for a second 5-point pass. Again, that Killer Bee defense able to split the pack. And Icy Kill not having to break momentum as she gets on through. Dr. Death with the Jamet helmet cover in hand. Gets forced to the outside, has to go back and try again. East Coast Derby Dolls trying to shut down Icy Kill on the inside. That time, unable to do so. It's another 5-point pass. 20 points so far for Icy Kill. About to become 25. Nice little pirouette on the inside. Last blocker passed. And it's now a 25-point jam for Icy Kill. East Coast set 3 up the back. Just keeping the skates on the line. Icy Killer through on the inside line. Dr. Death forced to the inside to try again. Unable to do the job here because it's fantastic work. Job star mayhem for the Killer Bees, able to shut down Dr. Death. Dr. Death coming off and doesn't seem to be happy. The helmet's off. Hope she's not feeling too demoralized. Getting a pat on the back from the coach. It is hard work when you're just continually getting recycled. Hopefully she can keep her chin up. She'll be back on track soon to try again. Unleash her on track for the Killer Bees. But it is Shellraiser who picks up lead jammer. Nice work on the inside line, able to break the Sun State defense. But Unleasher is also through and forces the call off. And, oh gosh. Unleasher able to steal 3 points as well. So even though it was 1 point for the East Coast Derby Dolls, 3 points for the Killer Bees. So East Coast on 17, chasing 196. 4 minutes 50 left to go in the first half. 5 on 5. It's a bit of a split pack going on. One blocker from each of the teams at the back of the pack. And Swader being forced out on the outside. Dead Meat is through. She is the lead jammer. And Swader has also picked up her initial pass by cutting through that beautiful inside line pass. Nice stuff. Pack speeding up as they head around turn 4, and it's called off. Killer Bees have now cracked the double century. And with 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Percentages could play a big difference here, so Killer Bees just going to rack up as many points as they can. Shellraiser back on track. Will take on Valkyrie as the whistle blows. Shellraiser looking to get through on that outside, and she is through. Excellent pass. Great muscular jamming here from Shellraiser. She's got half a track as Valkyrie is now through. A little bit of shake and bake, wants to get through, does so, and picks up 2 points, but more importantly holds the Killer Bees to 0. That's got to be good for your morale, and gives a thumbs up to her defense and a bit of a clap to herself. Gives herself a round of applause as she comes off. Yep, nicely run jam. Good work, Shellraiser. Swader back on track, going to take on Icy Kill. Swader doesn't like the look of the inside, decides to try the outside. Whistle blows, here we go. But it's Icy Kill who's able to weave her way through the defense on the inside and picks up lead jammer. Good defense again from that Killer Bee defense, able to shut down Swader. They've got 3 at the back, and nice big shoulder from 8-7 for the Killer Bees. That was Veruca assault. Top stuff here from the Killer Bee D. One of theirs goes off. As what does one of the East Coast, so 3 on the track for both sets of blockers. Star pass has been done. Depraved has picked up the star. Icy Kill chasing down Depraved. Depraved trying to find a way to stop her. Little jammer on jammer action as we head into turn 3. Icy Kill enjoying the opportunity, calls it off, and it's no points for the East Coast Derby Dolls. Killer Bees just on a mission, not allowing the East Coast Derby Dolls to get many points on the board. They're on 19. Killer Bees on 210 with 1 minute 20 left to go in the first half. Back on track. Shellraiser having a nice little bit of a yabba with Unleasher. They'll be jamming against each other when the whistle blows. There it is. Unleasher trying the outside, but it is, yeah, it's Unleasher on the outside getting through. Shellraiser still stuck in the back of the pack. She is now through. She's managed to shoulder her way through the inside line. Able to get away through them. The defense there calls it off. All right, let's get it on for another jam. Got time for one more. And we have an official review being called, but it's an official reviewer's timeout. So the Killer Bees using their official review as a timeout. And yeah, heading into the halftime break. Why not? Because you get one official review per half, so that way they hold on to their 3 timeouts. East Coast Derby Dolls have used a timeout, so they've got 2 left for the game. But it's a good chance for the referees. They're in the middle of the track having a nice chat together. Another one of our stall holders here is Subtle Visage. Subtle Visage, with over 25 years of literal hands-on experience in massage, and after playing roller derby for 5 years herself, Bimbo knows exactly where it hurts. So they have a whiteboard here at Tropicarnage Club. You can see when she's free. And Subtle Visage are also on Facebook and Instagram. So you can check them out if you like to get a massage in the Brisbane area. Why the heck not, I say. Just a thing for all those derby bumps and bruises. Let's get it on. Oh, nice bit of a run up here. We get it on for the last jam of the first half. Away goes Dead Meat. She is through. She's been fun to watch this first half, I tells you. Shake and bake. And hits the back of the wall. It is a power jam as well. Dr. Death has headed to the penalty bin. So Killer Bees starting or ending the first half the way they started, with supreme jammer action going on and a lot of points getting on the board. Good defense as well. That is an excellent triangle. It's so solid. Killer Bee setting up at the front of the pack instead of at the rear. So not doing the usual power jam sort of positioning here. But as that pack moves through, and as Dead Meat gets through the pack are also meeting the Killer Bees. So it's sort of an inverse O, if you wish. Oh, huge shoulder block there from 1-1 for East Coast. Debris. And the pack has now just come to a standstill at turn 2. Dead Meat has found a way through somehow. Picks up another 5-point pass. It's 19 points so far. It's one of Sun State head to the penalty bin. Debris up the front again this time, looking for a bit of help. I think it was Axel Rolls trying to come on through to lend a hand, but not able to get there in time. Oh, Dead Meat. Sorry, Dr. Death being issued a high block. So it is ending the first half with a jammer penalty. And that's a very quick call. So we're going into the intermission with the Killer Bees finishing with a 28-point jam, 239 points. East Coast Derby Dolls on 19. They have a jammer in the penalty box. They're going to start with Dr. Death in the penalty bin for the second half. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It is a very different game to our first game, but the action is aplenty. Stick around, go have a cup of tea. We'll be back in 14 minutes for the start of the second half. Welcome back to the second half of this second game. East Coast Derby Dolls taking on the Sun State Killer Bees. We're less than a minute left to go in the intermission. Just having a quick look at the stats for the first half. Of course, the Sun State scorers scored a lot. But interesting that they've spread out their penalties. No player is on more than 2. Whereas for the East Coast Derby Dolls, Axel Rolls has picked up 5 penalties. And Misdemeanor is on 3. They're on 15 team penalties, East Coast, versus 10 for Sun State. Interestingly, of their 19 points, 17 have been scored by Shellraiser, 11 of them in one jam. So when she's been able to get free, she's done a good job. But we are here for the second half. We are 5 seconds. They are just going absolutely hell for leather, this ref crew. Doing 2 back-to-back tonight, and the whistle blows. We are off and racing. Icy Kill on for the Killer Bees. And Dr. Death starting from the penalty bin. She has a penalty to sit. So Killer Bees now with 4 back on track. And through for the initial pass. So it is first scoring pass of the second half coming up for Icy Kill. Turn 2 is the place where the action is. And Icy Kill, nice deft move up the inside. Picks up a first scoring pass. Everyone's back on the track now, as we have a junior member of the fan base going over to the Killer Bees bench and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And being escorted politely back to the parent, I hope. That was almost a track cut of another kind. Whereas we have Icy Kill up the front. Pirouette and is called for the cut track. So Dr. Death now on the scoring pass and with a power jam. I think on the scoring pass. I'm not sure that the penalty, if she's made it through for a scoring pass, you don't know. Start pass has been handed off. So it is 1-1 for the East Coast Derby Dolls. Debris, who's got the jammer helmet cover, is just pulling it on right now. And she's off and racing. She's going to try and get herself some points. Icy Kill is standing. Debris on the outside, getting a hand from one of her own players. Icy Kill now back on track, off and racing, looking to go up that inside line. Closed down by the East Coast Derby Dolls. Try the outside. Nope. No pass, no penalty being called. So Icy Kill has come on the track, got through, picked up 5 points, and Debris gets 4 of her own by the looks. Nice. So 253 plays 23 at the end of the fast jam. Number 3 on for the Killer Bees. That is Unleasher. 2-4. The big point scorer for the first half. Shellraiser for the East Coast Derby Dolls, that is, on the track. Here we go. And Shellraiser trying to power through the outside line is shut down in a blaze of glory by Chippies. Unleasher is through, going for her first scoring pass. Meets the back of the pack and is slowed down by the Derby Dolls. As Shellraiser is through and forces the call off. My name is Pants, by the way. G'day. Thanks for joining us for the second game of this Friday night extravaganza of Derby. Only the 2 games being played. So after this is done, head off to bed and get up early in the morning for the second day of the Tropicarnage Cup. Our first game tomorrow, by the way, will be a Division 1 game. Will be BCR taking on Victoria Roller Derby League, the notorious VICs. Get up early for that one. That promises to be very, very interesting indeed. Both teams coming off some very impressive tournament victories at the Great Southern Slam. Nice big apex jump from Dead Meat, calls it off. So that'll be a fun game to watch. Get your Saturday morning up and running in the best way possible this beautiful October long weekend. What AFL Grand Final? Who cares? We've got Tropicarnage Cup 2018 coming your way. What Rugby League Grand Final? I don't know. Who cares about that one either? It is a big weekend of Derby coming your way. Here we go. Dr. Death on the line up against Valkyrie. And a couple of blockers just staring each other down. That was Stiffmeister up against Moni. Having a little bit of a face-off at the back of the pack. That's fun to watch. Something a little bit different, but Valkyrie is through. She is your lead jammer. Dr. Death still trying to get through the pack. She's taken off the helmet cover. Maybe looking to pass it off. She hasn't yet. She's still stuck at the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Valkyrie looking to get that inside line and does seemingly with ease, gets through the defense and has picked up another 5-point pass. That's her second for this jam. Star pass has been taken, so it looks like it's 5-5 for East Coast, who's come up with that. That's Swader. So who better to hand off your helmet cover to as a jammer than another jammer? But that only gets Valkyrie to call off the jam. She has picked up 15 points, so 275 plays 23. So Icekiller back on the track. We have an official's timeout. Icekiller and Shellraiser. Head ref coming over to have a chat with the benchy for the Killer Bees. And one of the Killer Bees, maybe? No. Instead, we have one of the TGSS support staff coming over. And looks like we have some Teflon tape being issued. So the referees are concerned about the knee pads by the looks. Some of the Sun State team do not have Teflon tape on their knee pads, and the referees are concerned that the impact is going to have an effect on the floor. So most of the Sun State team are currently patching their knee pads. I have not seen that as an official's review. I've never seen that in a game of Derby, but Derby is a game of interesting developments. But of course, one of the referee's main roles is to make sure that the game is played not only within the rules, but safely. And if you're going to rip up the track, that's going to have an effect on the floor. And of course, not only by being kind to our hosts, by keeping the floor in good shape, we also want to make sure the floor doesn't get roughened up. That's going to change the way the games are played, the way the floor feels. All right, everyone seems to be patched up, and we're going to get ready for the start of jam number 5. 5 seconds is the call. Icekiller and Shellraiser. Icekill looking to go up the inside line, has picked up lead jam. A good toe stop work from Icekiller, I should say, as she picked up lead jammer. Good tiptoeing up the Epsom line. Well done. Gets met by East Coast Derby Dolls. Breaks open the pack and has got through for a scoring pass. Shellraiser has cleared the pack at the same time. So we've got some jammer on jammer action here. Shellraiser just with the nose in front and forces the call off. So just the 4 points to the Killer Bees. But 3 points, 2 points, sneaky points. Nice one, Shellraiser. All right, Unleash her on. And Depraved is on the line. That is a bit of a development. The East Coast Derby Dolls now starting to mix up their jammer rotation. Whistle blows. Depraved looking to get on the outside line. Keeps, it almost got through, but is forced to recycle. She's yielded all the way back to the jammer line. Valkyrie is through and is now the lead jammer. Penalty called against one of the Killer Bees. They've got 2 in the box at the moment. Depraved is clear. And call is called from the... And is it Sneaky Points? It is Sneaky Points. Well done, Depraved. 4 Sneaky Points, a full set. 1 for the Killer Bees. Nice one, Depraved. That was fantastic. Dr. Death back up on the line for the East Coast Derby Dolls, going up against Dead Meat. Dead Meat with one of the finest set of shoulders I've seen on the track so far this tournament. That is a girl who knows how to lift. Fantastic musculature. But look at it go. It's not just the shoulders that help, it's the legs. Legs pumping, and she is through the pack. Dead Meat is your lead jammer. Nice outside inside, finishes off with a little apex leap. 5-point pass for Dead Meat. Dr. Death, meanwhile, still trying to wend her way through the pack. Oh, big apex jump. Dead Meat sticks the landing, but just touched the inside line on the landing, so she has been called for the cut track, and we are going the full 2 minutes. Dr. Death with a power jam, and she's completed her initial pack. Initial pack, I do apologize, initial pass. No pack was the call from the ref. Both walls quickly reforming. That's how you do it, kids. And Dr. Death stuck at the back of the pack. That is 8-7. That is Veruca Assault again. Fantastic blocking here from the pivot for the Killer Bees. She's been getting some assistance here. That was Black 5-1. Chucky. Dead Meat back on track. She is through and has completed her scoring pass. Going the full 2 minutes, we're 22 seconds left to go, so Dead Meat able to complete another scoring pass. Chucky gets a penalty. And Dr. Death just looking to complete the scoring pass, but it's Dead Meat inside outside, up on one leg, off balance, picks up another 5-point pass. Quickly around, she's gone for another one and picked up even more points. Dead Meat, huge finish to the jam. 22-point jam. Triple century up for the Killer Bees. 5 points for East Coast Derby Dolls. They're on 34. High five from the 2 jammers. Shellraiser. And is going to be taken on Valkyrie. Good to see the spirit of the game alive and well and friendly. Whistle blows though, and both jammers launch themselves into the pack. Valkyrie inside outside, able to spring the defensive trap, but has escaped its clutches. She is through. Got about a third of a track break on Shellraiser, and calls it. Gets 1 point. Quick changeover. Depraved. Red bandana around her neck. Quickly on the track. She's as keen as beans. Ivy Killer on as well. Icy Killer, I should say. Icy Kill. Don't know why I'm getting her name wrong, but it's Icy Kill for the Killer Bees. Depraved shakes off one of the Killer Bee defense, gets met by 2 more, shakes them off, but is still trying to wend her way through the back of the pack. Good positional movement here from the Killer Bee D. Icy Kill approaching the back of the pack for her scoring pass. tries the inside line, blocked off, tries the outside, gets on through. Jam and trap going for by Tia for the Killer Bees, forcing that recycle. But Depraved is now through. Isakill picks up her 4 points, calls it off, and it's a 9-point jam for her. Looks like Manbo coming on for East Coast Derby Dolls, having a word with the head ref. Maybe something's being seen. I can see some forearm action being signaled there. So maybe the referees are just being asked to just watch out for a bit of forearms. I'm sure they do that anyway. Oh, look at that, look at that. It's 5-5. It is Swader quickly through the outside. There was a full complement of Killer Bees on the track as well. Great work by Swader, able to force the... Oh, and she's through again, Swader. Like a bat out of hell. She is going absolutely nuts. 4-point pass for both teams. Unleasher is also through. And calls it. Swader picks up an extra 2 points. The jam is hers. 3 points. 7 versus 4. Take a bow, Swader. Nicely run jam. Alrighty, let's change it over. Shellraiser quickly on track. And it's going to be joined by 668 Dead Meat. Dead Meat dives through the wall. One more blocker and she's done. So it is Dead Meat who picks up lead jammer. East Coast Derby Dolls splitting the pack, trying to give their jammer the best possible chance, but even with 3 blockers, the Killer Bees wall is solid. Shellraiser are unable to get through, whereas Dead Meat has picked up a 5-point pass. Make that another 5-point pass. Wish I could skate like Dead Meat. She is zipping around the track here. Beautiful agility, shakes off the defensive blocking. Trying to get in there, but it's not working, and that was Shannibal Lecter trying to get in. And it's another 5-point pass. Meanwhile, up the front, Shellraiser got through the pack, but is suddenly met by 2 more Killer Bees. That's Veruca Assault and Jodstar Mayhem. And that's the end of the jam. So it's a 22-point jam for Dead Meat. Valkyrie coming back on. Dr. Death as well. No, sorry, Depraved it is. Not Dr. Death. Okay, I'll work it out one of these years. It's definitely Dr. Death and Valkyrie. Whistle blows. Valkyrie look at the outside line, tries that in, move it through the inside, works past the hips of the East Coast defense and then picked up lead jammer. Dr. Death trying the same move, trying to work her way through, tiptoeing along the inside line, but matching her step by step is 5-1 Chucky. Valkyrie, meanwhile, is through for a 5-point pass. About to start her next scoring pass. They're on turn 3. Nice work by Valkyrie. Works outside, inside, uses the apex to her advantage, picks up the points and calls it off. So she has a 10-point jam. 13 minutes, 40 seconds left to go in this game. And then that will be it for the evening. We'll be heading off to bed. Betty buys. Sleepy Bobos. And we'll have a quick rest and get up early in the morning, get a nice brekkie into us and be back here for the first game tomorrow morning. Icy Kill up against Dr. Death. Dr. Death has sat down, so it's a power start for Icy Kill. Alrighty. Icy Kill's picked up a 5-point pass. 9 points so far. One of the blockers heading to the bins for Sun State. That's 2-2 Sammy. So East Coast just keeping Icy Kill at the back of the pack for a while, but she's finally been able to shake them off, picks up another pass. Dr. Death back on track, trying to make her way through. Manages to shake off one Sun State blocker, only to be met by another one. Dr. Death has removed the helmet cover, but her pivot is now in the bin, so that will be in vain. Icy Kill, meanwhile, is up the front, tries to leap through that last bit of the apex, but is pushed to the inside. Got to go through again. And call is the call from the caller, and it's been called. So that will leave the pivot in the bin for the East Coast Derby Dolls. That is Stiffmeister. What you going to do? You're going to stick on Depraved. If you're the East Coast Derby Dolls, you are going to put on the mighty number 3, Unleasher, if you're the Killer Bees. Timeout called. So timeout's been called, and looks like one of the penalty box people are just coming across. We've got a bit of a check going on, making sure that all the officials have got the right penalties allocated to the right people by the looks here. Our PTLTs. These are the people who track the penalties, and the lineups are coming over to the penalty box, and they're just making sure that everything is matching. Our officials all over it. And the skating ref's going over to have a quick powwow in the center of the track as well. Meanwhile, the Killer Bees having a little bit of a chat, but the East Coast Derby Dolls are also just having a bit of fun, just leaning in, linking arms. It's good to see, even with the scoreline as disparate as this one is, people are still sharing a bit of a smile and laugh on track. Got the Killer Bee fan club over on turn 2. Waving their bees in the air. It's a little bit different, but that's why we love Derby. So yeah, get up nice and early. Come down to the Moray Field Leisure Centre if you're in town. If you're not, don't worry about it. We'll be streaming it live on YouTube. Officials still just conferring with the paperwork. And the head refs will come over as well just to make sure that everything's okay. Okay, looks like the paperwork's been sorted out. PTLTs are now heading back to the center of the track. And the referees are going back into the position. Rolling whistle. So that signals the end of the officials' timeout, and we're going to get back. Depraved and Unleasher. Still your jammers lining up. Killer Bees, quick reformation at the front, trying to shut down Depraved. Depraved getting a hand, but it's Unleasher who's through. Oh, wow, big blocks here from the East Coast Derby Dolls blocker. That was Swader getting amongst it. Turning it around from jammer to blocker. That's awesome. Depraved trying to exploit the mobile pack, but it is met by number 4, Tia. So that's shut down her forward momentum. And she's got to go back and try again. Meanwhile, Alicia has stepped through the wall beautifully and picks up a 4-point pass. Both jammers now free of the pack. One of the Sun State heading to the penalty bin. That is Chucky. Whistle blows. That is the end of the jam. 13 points for the Killer Bees. For those playing at home, it's 380 to 41. 10 minutes left to go in the game. Dead Meat coming back on. And it's going to be Shellraiser for the East Coast Derby Dolls. Pack has been set up forward and a timeout signal by the Killer Bees. So that's the first timeout for them. Not changing the lineup and not even really not really utilizing this timeout for a team chat or anything like that. It just seems to be almost an arbitrary timeout with 9:50 left on the clock. Once again, just make a quick mention of our sponsors. Skate Connection, of course, the Jammer Line sponsor. So we also have Spank Alley, the international supplier of roller derby armbands, helmet covers, general team and player armbands, sweat suckers and clothing. And we also have Damned Soles. So your skate boots bollocked, stitching loose or sole undone, then not beyond saving, opposite at hand. So Damned Soles are the ones to talk about repair and restoration of skates. How's that for cool? Dead Meat, meanwhile, is also cool. Stepping through the outside, picks up Lee Jammer. A couple of skaters hit the deck at the same time. They're picked up. The pack is reformed on the apex. Shellraiser stepped through the pack. And call was the call, and it was called nicely. So 0 points for the East Coast Derby Dolls, 2 for Deadbeat of the Killer Bees. Dr. Death back online for East Coast. Curio. Number 39 for the Killer Bees. Valkyrie. Alrighty, 5 seconds of the call. Let's get another jam in. And there goes Valkyrie through on the outside. Beautifully done. Dr. Death muscles her way through the inside. Shakes off the Sun State defense. She is through. Valkyrie shakes off. The D steps through. She knows she's got her 4 points and calls it off. High fives from the Killer Bees as they switch over. That is probably the most awkward high five of the evening. Isakill lining up and Depraved as well. It's good to see Depraved taking the step up on the jammer rotation here for East Coast and doing a pretty good job of it. But Isakill is through. She is the lead jammer. Depraved putting the pedal to the metal, unable to power through that defense. Meanwhile, East Coast at the back doing a nice job against Isakill. They've shut down that scoring pass beautifully here. The pack slowly makes its way on the back straight through turn 3. Depraved is through, but it's Icy Kill. It's been asked to call it off. She has picked up her points, but certainly got banged around by the East Coast defense. That was a hard jam. 7:10 left to go in the game. We're heading towards jam number 18. Dead Meat and Shellraiser. Doing a bit of a dance back and forward. But really, it's all going to happen when the whistle blows. Here we go. Shellraiser launches into the back of the pack. Shut down by the Killer Bees. That is Veruca Salt again, and Sammy combining beautifully at the back of the pack here to shut down Shellraiser. Dead Meat, meanwhile, little apex jump manages to shake off Swader. And it's about a half lap ahead. Dodge, weave, turn, parry and spin. Gets her 4 points and calls it off. Timeout signaled by the East Coast Derby Dolls. And they will bring it in for a chat. I want to also make mention of another one of our sponsors while we've got the opportunity. So, Lawless Lips and Beauty. They've got the lipstick to do the job. So they're on Facebook, facebook.com/lawlesslips. Can't wait to see what the Derby gods will bring to us tomorrow morning. But it's going to be a big lot of games coming your way tomorrow morning. There are 7 scheduled. It's going to be a huge day of Derby coming your way from the very get-go. Unleasher lining up for the Killer Bees and Dr. Death for East Coast. We're at 6:12 left to go in the game. East Coast now coming in to shut down the defense. Dr. Death trying to open up an inside line, unable to do so. Meanwhile, Unleasher is able to muscle away through the outside and picks up lead jammer. Got a feel for the jammers who've worked so hard for East Coast. Dr. Death has been out there the whole game trying her best. And you can see at the back of the line, she's trying the left, she's trying to right, but the Killer Bees defense just able to get in and be so solid. East Coast defense now setting up at the back, trying to shut down Alicia. She's now trying to open up that inside line, unable to do so. A couple of players have hit the deck. They're back up, that's good to see. And Unleasher, nope, muscle to the inside. So she's got to go back to the try again. Good shutdown by the East Coast defense. This is what we want to see. It's much more even jam going through. Unleasher finally through. Has picked up a 5-point pass. She's picked up 10 for the jam so far. Star pass has come through. That was going to be misdemeanor by the looks of it. And we have an actual official review by the looks of it being called by the East Coast Derby Dolls. So the head ref now going to confer with the team captains and alternates. And it is the alternate for East Coast who's doing the talking. That's probably Mambo. And looks like there's a bit of gesturing going on. Trying to see if I can pick up what the gestures may mean, but there was a bit of a, I think there was a question maybe about a defensive maneuver that was performed, whether or not this was done legally. So they may be looking for a back block or something like that, I would suspect. So I'd say they're looking for a penalty to be issued. So now the referees are conferring. And we will see what the result is. In not too long a time, the penalty box is empty at the moment. So 5 on the track for both teams. So when we get things underway, it will be a 5-on-5. Just the way we like it. If you are coming down to the Tropicarnage Cup over the weekend, there is some beautiful merch. The t-shirt for this year is very vibrant. Some nice pink colouring going along. So see if we can get that on to you. The referees are conferring for quite a while, so there is quite a lot of discussion going on. So whatever the question has been, it's being considered very methodically and carefully by the referees. This Tropicarnage Cup is the first tournament in a big week for Queensland Roller Derby. As far as hosting is concerned, next weekend there will be the inaugural Australian Championships being held in this very venue. And that will be very interesting indeed. South Australia, my home state, is setting their junior derby up, which is going to be fantastic. There are at least 4 Team Australia players in that lot. We wish them all the very best. They will, of course, be taking on junior derby from Queensland as well as other places, and there will be a lot of Team Australia reunions going on. The head referee has delivered the result, and let's see if we can hear what that was. Head referee has a radio mic. So that was a question asked about the jamming that was going on in that last jam, but whatever that query was, the officials have decided it wasn't worth changing their rulings. So the referees win again, as they always do. We now have Valkyrie up against Shellraiser. And as the pack moves around turn 1, it is very solid. And it is Valkyrie on the outside, able to break the shackles of the East Coast Derby dolls. She's picked up lead jammer. Quickly around, she is off for her scoring pass as Shellraiser has broken free of the pack. Valkyrie gets her scoring pass and decides that is it. So if you like the number 4 and the number 1, you will love this scoreline. It is 411 for the Killer Bees versus 41 for the East Coast Derby Dolls. Depraved back online up against Icy Kill. This is going to be a bit of fun. Depraved going for the big long lineup, getting some forward momentum. Bam! Wacko picks up a nice shoulder from Arsenic. And trying to get through the pack, but it is Icy Kill who's picked up lead jammer. And again, that's 1 through 3. Arsenic just throwing her whole body into the defense, trying to shut down Depraved. Unable to do so. She is free of the pack. Points and call. And picks up 2 points. Quick change over. Let's get another jam in. because too much derby is never enough, as we love to say. Dead Meat's on track, as is Dr. Death. We're going to get it on for another jam. Sun State quickly move forward, trying to find some way to outfox the East Coast Derby Doll defense. Instead, they open up a nice break on the outside line for Dead Meat to get through. Fast, fast, fast from Dead Meat. Pirouettes. And has worked outside, inside to pick up a 5-point pass. Great stuff. Helmet cover held in the hand by Dr. Death. Teasing the star pass. Gets it. And off goes number 5-5 for East Coast Derby Dolls. That is Swader. Pulls the helmet cover on, and Dead Meat has quickly chased her down. No more points, though. Gosh, that Dead Meat moves so beautifully. High fives as she comes off. And picked up a 9-point jam somehow as well in the midst of all of that. Fantastic. 4:22 playing 41. We're a minute and a half left to go in the game. This could be the last jam, but we'll see what happens. We've got to unleash her as a quick timeout is called. It is a timeout to Sun State. So it looks like they're going to change over their blocking team. So Shellraiser will be taking on a different set of blockers. But the jammer lineup is unchanged. Referees, once again, just having a little chat on the inside, as is their wont. Good stuff. Good stuff from everybody tonight. Both games run without any issues, without any major problems. This is the way we love it. Come out, play your games, have some fun. Enjoy a few tunes, and then go home. No, we will be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, for the start of Tropicarnage Cup. Don't forget to like the Tropicarnage Cup page on Facebook. Everything's being posted up there, including the links to the YouTube, as well as the schedules. A few photos are finding their way up already as well, so keep an eye out for all the official photographer photos as well to be posted up on the page as they come to light. Shellraiser is your lead jammer for East Coast Derby Dolls. She's cruised around. She has got half a pack on Veruca Assault, who's pulled on the helmet cover for Sun State. Veruca Assault, meanwhile, on the outside line has picked up 4 points. Good stuff for her. Coming on for the last jam and making an impact. Call. So we've got time for one more jam. The end of the jam being called with 31 seconds left on the clock. Hugh Little Ripper. One more jam. Swader coming on for the East Coast Derby Dolls, as is Valkyrie. This is the way to go. Two of the nice guys of the jammers, and they're obviously been enjoying playing against each other all evening. A few smiles. Here we go. Period clock is at 0. We are 1:55 left to go in the jam. And there is a penalty. It's against Swader. So Valkyrie has a power jam. Forearms penalty being issued against one of the East Coast Derby Dolls by the looks. Yes. So Valkyrie is free of the pack as the Killer Bees stand up, arms linked, to support their team as they finish off the game in style. Valkyrie goes through, picks up a 5-point pass. Teams work their way across to the jam line. Swader back on track with the helmet cover in hand. She has stepped through the pack very nicely. So Swader is clear, Valkyrie is clear. She calls it, and that will be the end of the game. So it looks like the score will be 435 plays 45. Scoreline very disparate, but it's good to see that the quality of the derby, the quality of the blocking has been top-notch from both teams. Killer Bees just able, with the jammer quality, to get free, and the blocking quality to stop the East Coast Derby Dolls from getting through. Well done to Sun State. East Coast will be back to play again, and we look forward to seeing them back on track. So thank you so much for joining us for this first day of Tropicarnage Cup. Your Friday night is done. We will be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, for day 2 Tropicarnage Cup 2018. My name is Pants. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. We'll look forward to seeing you again online tomorrow.